Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Breakfast with Cody Gall. Yes, sir. So, today, I am, first of all, going to say that there's a lot of news going on right now. News cycle had been slow, now it's picked up. But I'm going to let I'm going to let it digest a little bit more for one more day or two. I'm going to follow up on what I did on Friday or Thursday, with talking about Hollywood movies and whatnot. Today I want to talk about occult symbolism. I just want to get something off my chest about occult symbolism, because a lot of people freak out about it, and I really don't. I never really have cared all that much about occult symbolism put in movies and stuff. Now, having said that, subliminal messaging and programming, that's very different. That I take very seriously. That's MK Ultra science, and these social engineers have that down pat. But the symbolism, they didn't come up with that. That they picked that up from these weirdo secret societies. Okay, but in my humble opinion, they don't know what they're messing with. They're completely clueless as to what these symbols really are and where they come from. And so, I just wanted to talk about what I think they really are and what they're not, and where they come from. So, like this, for example. And if you take this and really look at it, what it is a pentagon with equilateral triangles coming off of each side. And it's an equilateral pentagon with equilateral triangles. It's balanced. It's mathematically balanced. God created this. The equilateral shape is mathematically balanced, and it is one of the only places you're going to find perfection in this universe. Really, the only place you're going to find real perfection is mathematics. 2 plus 2 perfectly equals 4. So this all equilateral shapes are balanced. So you take this, you flip it upside down, it's still balanced. And then the circle is the ultimate example of balanced. You put the circle around the star, it's now what it is. It's a balanced equilateral circle around a balanced equilateral triangles around a balanced equilateral pentagon. And then if you put some goat's head in it, now you've got a symbol of nature fused with all of these balanced symbols of mathematical purity. Now you want to call that the symbol of evil. Why? What makes this the symbol of evil? Because some pedophile, pervert, drug addict, rapist, nightmare people a couple hundred years ago said so, and they've had their weirdo secret societies ever since. They just claim it's the symbol for Satan, so therefore it is. What gives them the authority to do that? Who put these weirdo secret societies as a higher authority over God? They didn't create any of that. God created it. They just came along and took it. There's a difference between if someone were to come in here and take these eggs away from me. They didn't cook them. I cooked them. Or a better example is the chicken created those eggs. So if somebody were to come in here and steal my eggs, if someone were to come in here and say these eggs are evil, I personally know the chicken who laid those eggs. Her name is Lulu, and she's not evil. This is not a symbol of evil. This is a symbol of nature infused with perfection. And then there's this. This episode today, I don't want to get too much into other topics, but you are talking to someone who believes that Egyptians did not build the pyramids, that the pyramids were built by an ancient civilization who was pre-flood, which in my opinion means existed during the Ice Age. Because if there was a global civilization going on during the Ice Age and that had most of their cities were at the coasts, and then this happened, well, the survivors would flee inland and take what little bits of their culture they could take with them and tell everybody there was a flood. And right? So anyway, in Central America, this was discovered not that long ago, along with this. Look familiar? And they were determined to be many, many, many thousands of years old in Central America. That's a little odd, isn't it? What's the all-seeing eye doing in Central America thousand years ago? I thought it was the Illuminati symbol of evil. God created that. God created this. God created that. This is not a symbol of evil. The pyramid is not a symbol of evil. It's mathematics. And in my humble opinion, this ancient civilization, as well as Stone Age Europeans, were monotheistic, not pagans. Stone Age Europeans were not pagans. The people of the Middle East were. The people of India were. The people of Africa were. But the people of Europe were not pagans. They were monotheistic, and they believed in one God, and they believed that they essentially worship Logos. They worship truth. And this was probably the symbol for Logos. It was the all-seeing eye over the pyramid. This was the symbol for God. This is the ultimate example of what I'm talking about. They took the symbol of God and turned it into something evil. So if some pervert weirdo loser comes along and reads some book about how some other pervert loser a couple hundred years ago made up some crap about how this and this are evil, and then the weirdo loser of today said, I'm going to hide it in a kid's movie, and then we're going to go rape some children, and then we're going to binge on cocaine, hell Satan, I'm so hip and cool and trendy, right? Then none of that makes, that's, God still created this stuff. This is still the symbol of God, regardless of what the pedophile weirdo loser is doing. So when it's sacred geometry, they're actually doing a good thing by putting this stuff into kids' movies. Because when you look at something like this, if you have zero associations and you just look at it, it looks cool because it's sacred geometry. If you'd had zero associations, you would think that looks cool. It's sacred geometry. The eye infused with the equilateral triangle, the animal infused with the equilateral pyramid, pentagon, the star, the circle, the nature infused with the perfection of mathematics is what these two symbols are all about. And that is not what evil is. And so I don't care that much about that. But having said that, when these Hollywood weirdos use subliminal messaging and programming, now that's a problem. That I take very seriously. But the occult symbolism, it's just like, who cares? They didn't create it, and they don't get to tell me what it means. No. Thank you for watching.